with you with the opening statements. We will proceed down the table to Mr. Hankins. Sir, it's your floor.
Thank you. In the 1850s, Martin Sodrell immigrated to America from England. He settled in Perry County, Indiana. His son, Noah Pap Sodrell, was born there. My father, Bob Sodrell, was born there. Martin was a farmer. He was also a flatboat pilot between southern Indiana and New Orleans. Pap farmed, fished commercially, ran a river ferry service. He also carried mail on horseback beginning in 1915. My dad delivered tasty bread and also carried the mail. I carried on the business of my father and grandfather, but I started a business of my own. From 3 1949 buses and 2 employees, it has grown to over 650 employees today. I want to make sure our children and grandchildren have the same opportunities in life. The American dream is being crushed by a government grown too large and overbearing. With God's help and your support, we will restore America and revive the American dream. Thank you for coming today.
Mr. Warren, your opening statement, please.
Well, I'd like to say that I'm honored to be here, and it's great to see the turnout we had today. I'm from Jennings County, and I've lived in this area my whole life. I grew up in Columbus. I know I'm kind of like the oddball up here at the group, but you know what? That's the way I want to be. I want to be the different person. I want to be the different candidate. I'm unemployed. I will admit that straight up in front of everybody right here. I've been looking for work. I'm not ashamed of that because the Obama administration has caused me to not be able to find anything. I know a lot of people just like I am. And you know what? I want to change that. I want to take the time, I want to take the effort, and I want to fight for every one of you out there. Because the Constitution begins with the words, we the people. And those words are very, very important to me. Anybody's heard me speak, I always bring them up. Because we the people, that's every one of you. And I'm just so utterly pleased that I have this opportunity to be up here with you. Thank you. Mr. Rice.
Mr. Young.
My name's Todd Young, running for Congress because, frankly, I'm tired of politicians giving lip service to things all of you care about. Things like fiscal responsibility. We've heard that word so many times over the years, but nothing seems to change in Washington. From the beginning, for over 17 months now, this campaign has been about turning the page on the excesses of the recent past. Folks, this is going to be a hard-hitting session. I want to make everyone aware of that. We've got some adult issues to talk about. The excessive spending of our Republican Party in recent years. Mike Sodrell was part of that excessive spending, and we're going to talk about that here today. Now, I regret that we can't have more of these forums. Mike, just weeks ago, agreed to participate in weekly debates. That was early February, if I recall, in front of, I believe, a couple of hundred college Republicans, some of whom are here today. Mike Sodrell has cowered away from that challenge and not scheduled those. So perhaps we can get that to change here, but we're going to have some candid talk. I really want to earn your trust and support. I think there's an appetite, though, for real leadership and plain talk right now. We need to change this country.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. It is an honor to be here with you this evening. My name is Travis Hankins, and I'm running for Congress for the 9th Congressional District to represent you and your family. What I want you to know about me is that my top commitment in life is to my Christian faith, then to our conservative values, then to the Republican Party. I stand for the Constitution, limited government, a strong national defense, and traditional moral values. I am not a politician. I'm running for Congress because career politicians have destroyed our Constitution and they are bankrupting our nation. In fact, I believe career politicians have left our country in a big mess and that America is in desperate need of new conservative leadership. And that is exactly why I'm running for Congress.
Thank you for your opening statements. I would like to remind you that there is time limits, and I will, from this point on, begin to slow you down if we need to. So, okay, Fred is telling me, everybody say hello to Fred here. Hi, Fred.
He's got the paddle.
Fred has got the ping pong paddle with no ball. The yellow is the caution sign that you have now reached. You have 30 seconds to conclude. When you see the red, I'm going to give you a short time after that, very short. We will begin the debate. Mr. Sabro, you have the opportunity to answer this question first. For better or for worse, I suppose, you get that first shot at it. It'd be nice to have a little time to think, but let's do this. The health care bill has been signed into law, yet there are many who feel this bill is not right for America. As our congressman, what will you do about this legislation?
Well, I talked to some of my former colleagues about the bill. I don't know any way you can amend that bill to make it work. Amen. I mean, 2,600 pages. Every law that Congress passes has unintended consequences. Amen. There is something that you didn't consider and you didn't know about when you passed the bill. Only God knows how many unintended consequences there is in 2,600 pages. But what I can tell you is it provides for 16,500 new IRS agents, which really trashes the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution against unreasonable search and seizure. They will be given access to all of your bank records, and if you're a business, all of your business records, so they can determine how much money they should fine you when you fail to comply with this new health care law. So it's my belief that what we need to do with it is repeal it, and then replace it with common sense changes to the healthcare system. We all agree that the system needed some adjustments, but we can, for example, allow small business to band together across state lines to form larger buying groups, so they get the same advantages as big labor, big business, and big government. We can have tort reform, so we limit frivolous lawsuits that are being filed. We can expand health savings accounts. You know, we can make the insurance the employee's insurance policy rather than the employer's, so it's completely portable. You know, if somebody leaves our company, they don't lose their house insurance, they don't lose their car insurance because it's their insurance. The only reason they lose their health insurance is it's the company's policy. In order to do that, I think you'd have to require the carriers to issue 3 standard policies at a minimum, so that people could shop from carrier to carrier knowing that they're getting a price apples for apples. That every T is in the same place, every period, every word. The policies are completely identical. Seems to me it would make it simpler for the medical community. If you walked in the hospital with a B card for a B policy, they wouldn't have to call the carrier to see what the benefits were, because the benefits are all the same, whether it's an Anthem card or a New York Life card. Now, I'm a capitalist. I don't care if they sell an A+ or an A- or a C+ policy. But I think at a minimum, allow the insurance companies to sell insurance interstate, just like they do car insurance and health insurance or life insurance, but require them to issue standard policies so you can compare apples for apples. So there's a lot of things that we could do to solve the health insurance crisis. It's not really a crisis of health care. We have the best health care in the world. We need to change the way we pay for it, but we can do that without putting our children and grandchildren in debt and taking away our liberty in the process. Yeah.
Mr. Warren, do I need to repeat the question for you?
No, I fully understand it. And, no, like Mike said, absolutely, we've got a problem, you know. We'd like to see the health care bill overthrown. Let's be realistic. We're going to have to take a